So this is approximately September through, mid to late October. I am using Google Classroom, Google Slides, Google Forms, Nearpod, a website I found called Classroom Screen, Flipgrid, and Book Creator. I had explored Book Creator in my previous job a little bit, and I really liked what it had to offer, but I didn't fully have the experience in dealing with the nuts and bolts of it. In my role in my previous district, I coached other teachers on how to use it. But in terms of me really using it in practicality, I didn't have that experience. So I thought, this Book Creator, it's a great student creation tool. And I'm going to have my students, my fifth graders, sort of document their journey along the way as we're learning French. Okay. So didn't exactly go how I wanted it to go, but I learned from it. So my second rotation, here, this was me, right? I was trying to keep up with all of this. My second rotation, during this rotation, we were in school for 2 weeks. So I saw a hybrid group A on site 1 week and a hybrid group B on site 1 week. So I saw students twice over the course of that 7-week rotation. Again, Google Classroom, Google Slides, Kahoot, Nearpod, Classroom Screen, Flipgrid. This time, I decided to create the Book Creator book and share this with the kids because I thought, maybe I give them some type of guideline. They follow along. It was okay, but I had my third rotation. Time to tweak again. This again was all 100% remote except for the final week when I did have I had one group of students back at that point. You can see I'm starting to trim down what I'm using, right? I need to simplify my life and the life of my students. Google Classroom, Slides, Kahoot, Gimkit, and now Book Creator. So teacher created along the way. So I created this book along the way and I shared it along the way. So I was adding a little bit more into this book so that my students could have the information and then do something, almost like their own notebook. I thought about it and I thought, if these kids were in the classroom, I want to give them a book. I want to have them create a notebook, like a real notebook, but I couldn't do it because we were remote. So fourth rotation is what I'm in now. And this time I thought I'm getting rid of the Google Slides. Why am I presenting Google Slides to these kids and then having them do something in the book? I just want to put it in the book. So I'm using Google Classroom to basically share the link to the book and to list any assignments. I'm using Kahoot as my gamification and formative assessment tool, and I'm using Book Creator. This time, what I have done in my fourth rotation is I've created the entire book. Anything that I expect I'm going to cover over the course of 7 weeks. Now, of course, things change. For example, today I had to run out of the classroom, the teacher had to step in, and I had to come up with something right away. It wasn't in the book, but that's okay because I know that I will come back to the book and my curriculum, my activities I've created next week. I've shared it all with my students. And what they have done this time is they have actually made a copy of my book. So it's almost as if I've given them something. I've gone to the photocopier and I've made them a book and now I've handed it out in class and they have everything that they might want over the next 7 weeks. Additionally, I've shared this with parents because I know that parents, especially those of fifth graders, they want to always know what's going on, or many of them do. I personally have a fifth grader at home and I love to see what he's doing in class so I can talk to him about it. And I know I have parents like that as well because they've emailed me and they want to know what's going on in French class. So here I am, I keep talking about Book Creator, Book Creator, Book Creator, but you probably don't know much about it. So what is it? So initially I saw it as this open-ended creation tool. I can have my students write a book. And that was my first thought. I thought, how great is this? These kids can, creatively express themselves. Maybe they can put down what they're learning in French in their own fashion. It's a blank canvas. But that blank canvas is a little too much for fifth graders. They need some structure. So Book Creator can be used by students or teachers to create and share books. So after I realized how much structure these fifth graders really needed, I decided to create the book. I like Book Creator because it's accessible on any platform. So I have kids using Chromebooks primarily, but I do have some students who are at home using a home device, maybe a desktop, a Windows laptop, a Mac. I have some students using a Mac, and Book Creator, it's a web-based platform. It's available on any of these devices. It's also available on an iPad. So if I have a student that does not have a Chromebook, there's also an app available, and they can access the Book Creator and all of my materials on an iPad as well. It's easy to use, and it's also collaborative. So the students, if I had wanted them to, they could work on a book together. I can include voice, text, videos, images, maps, and websites, which all of you know because we are all world language teachers. The voice, the videos, the maps, those are critical elements to what we're teaching. I was using Flipgrid before, but that was one additional step the students had to take. Now I actually have them record videos inside of their book. And if they're not comfortable recording a video of their face, they can simply record their voice. I'm going to go through Book Creator, but if you need to look at this outside of our professional development session here, feel free to watch this video. This is created by Book Creator, and it's about a 2-minute video showing what Book Creator can do. But I really am I'm planning on giving you the opportunity to create a book during this presentation today. So I'm going to move on from here. And I want to show you some examples. So first of all, this is my rotation 1. Here is a book that a 5th grader, she created this book. And here I'm going to click here to read this. And here you can see it says read to me. So it actually reads in it will also read in other languages, but here's she called it a travel journal because that was sort of how I initially framed it. So I had said, where would you like to visit? What parts of the French speaking world? So she created a map and she put it on her cover. She embedded some websites, which I think is pretty cool. You can embed any type of website. There's a 3D image of Eiffel Tower. So she put that in herself. Again, I let the students be a little bit more creative. I wanted them to research some areas of France. They researched Quebec and she wrote about these. So that was really a nice way for her to understand some different, aspects of the French speaking world. But all of the other language materials was in Google Slides. So it was in a different location entirely. So I want to come back and let's look at the second rotation. So remember, I'm continually tweaking this. Here I tried to push out a table of contents to the kids. And here you can see, this is Winston's book, okay? I asked the kids, make your own cover. So he did that. I wanted them to put pictures about the French-speaking world. So here he did that. Again, they researched Paris a little bit. And so he also followed my directions pretty well. I added in some impressionism, and wanted them to label the colors in French and take a picture of their impressionist work. I liked that, but further tweaking led me to getting a little bit more organized. So in the third rotation, I decided to include activities with directions. Now you can't see it because here she actually deleted my instructions from the cover, which is what I told the kids they could do. But I will show you, let's see, all of my instructions were in speech bubbles. So you can see she used speech bubbles here, but she actually followed my instructions. And these went in conjunction with my Google Slides. I have not reached any page limit at this point. And I'll show you mine. So my book, my 4th book, it has over 80 pages in it because I wanted to push out all of the materials that I could potentially think that I would want to go over with my class. So fifth graders, I put some I can statements in, you know, and I wanted them to learn a few ways to say hello and goodbye. Here, this is one of my directions I put in. Again, I've given kids some creativity, but I've also included some of my materials in this. I like including my materials because those kids that worked quickly could move ahead. So for example, when Maisie was done here with her Mont Francophone and she found this, she moved into cognates and she was able to advance herself. So already I was differentiating without really having to change much of my my instruction. Okay, so here, you know, she's including, here's her voice.
This is me saying and / spelling my name in French. My name in English is Maisie Mockmer Wessels. How I spell my name in French is Maachmer.
Could you hear her? Okay, good. Okay. So the kids really like that, and they like that they could move forward and, you know, kind of pace themselves. They love these creative pens. But let me go back to another example, and this example was entirely different. We know some kids need structure. We know some kids are super creative and they need a little bit more. So this example, this girl deleted everything that I put into the book and she wanted it truly to be her own book. She designed her own cover. Here's the table of contents. Here she is. But she actually ended up illustrating in the entire book. So my directions were to say hello and different ways to say hello. I had goodbye in there, but she didn't put that in. But you know, she's expressing herself creatively throughout the book. Obviously spelling is, you know, not quite here, but I mean, that's after one class period that I pretty much was able to do ça va with them. And she also has her voice, her name. So I thought hers was extremely creative. I did include an activity. It was a drag and drop activity. And then at the end, I also provided a reflection where she drew herself. I loved seeing that she drew herself. I loved seeing that she did her illustrations. And this student was particularly proud of her book. She actually asked me if she could publish it. The kids can publish online. Actually, I have to publish for them, but she wanted to be able to share her book with others. Now, this now is mine. This is what I've done in this fourth rotation. I decided, like I said, to get rid of all my Google Slides. I wanted the kids to have everything in one spot. No Flipgrid, no Google Slides, only Google Classroom and my book. So I will show you a little bit about this. And knowing that I also wanted parents to have this, this is my template. Students were able to copy this entire book and they had it, like it's now under their name. My instructions are here for the cover. When they open the book, they see Beyond the New Welcome, and then my important information. So I'm providing them the structure that they need. I have my table of contents, and then I go into my instruction. What I did actually at the end of the book is I have my list of graded assignments. Knowing that this might change, I put a note here. The assignments are subject to change. Some assignments may be deleted if we do not have school on class days. Always check in Google Classroom for the graded assignments for the week. These all link back to the pages in the book where that assignment is. So if I have a parent and that parent says to me, I don't know where my child's ça va assignment is, I told the kids, It's all in your book. So here they see the directions and they know exactly what to complete. My culture is here. I can incorporate videos and maps and my own voice. So for me, seeing these kids so sporadically, I want them to hear French, and I have recorded videos and put them in. I have links out to Google Slides and put them in, and then I've recorded my own voice and also included that in the book. Sometimes students can't hear me when I'm when I am working in my classroom and they are at home learning online. I find that sometimes I'm glitching for them. So I try to include as much audio as I can in the book so that they constantly hear me talking. And all of these materials are here for you to look at.
And did you see the question in the chat box about the limit on the number
The
of
20
books?
book limit. So does that mean that if you have 40 working on a book, does that equal 40 books? So what they've told me now, I'm fortunate because my district, I asked for them to pay for it, and it's not very expensive. So they told me they would pay. But what Book Creator initially told me is that I could have certain kids working on books, and then I could publish those books, and then it would delete them, and then it would open up more space for more kids to create books. So maybe you would do it in like a station format or a choice format. Maybe some kids want to create books like this, you give them that option. But I will say at the end of this presentation, if you are very interested in trying Book Creator, and I will say it is reasonably affordable in terms of, like, when I look at it in terms of other ed tech tools out there, I do have a form you can fill out to get a 3-month upgrade to your Book Creator account. And you can try it out and see if it works for the next 3 months. It takes us to about the end of the school year. And I have all of that information at the end of my slides. Yeah, if you combine kids' books into one book, they can still work on it. That's exactly right, because it's collaborative. So Valerie, that's right. I don't know about the special. I would have to refer to somebody at Book Creator for that. I'm not sure.
So, Anne, the publishing thing is, so if you have, 20 kids and they publish their book, the book is still available. They just can't edit it anymore.
They can't edit it anymore.
Okay.
That's correct. So all of these books that you see that I've just shown you, those are all published books. You can see up here, that little world, that means it's a published book. So what I did with all of these is I actually created a copy of all of them, and then I published them for myself after I asked the students their permission. No, the published book does not mean the whole world is able to view it. It just means that you have a link. Like, can you see my link in the URL? It just means you have a link that says read. It's not really published. Like, I could post it on a website, but I would be posting this link. It's like basically making a Google Doc available for everybody to view, but then you don't share that link with anyone. Does that make sense? So I could share it with a parent if I wanted to. I hope that answers your question, Roger. Okay, good. All right. I want you to have a chance to work on it. So I have actually created a library, and I want you to go in to app.bookcreator.com, and you're going to see something that says sign in with Google. And I'm actually going to, I'm going to try to get to it on my screen because I want to see you working on it. Okay. So if you go to app.bookcreator.com, sign in with Google, you will see the option to join the library. And this is what I took this little blurb out of Google Classroom, what I did with my students, and I put it in here for all of you. So I've created a library for you, and that library code is S9GYC7J. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to see if I can, oops, sorry about that. I want to put this into our chat so that you can access this. Oh, I lost my chat here. Let's see.
I put the number 1, 2, and 3 I put in the chat for you.
Oh,
already,
thank you,
and-
Kathy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm actually going to look in my library and I will watch you all join. And what I'm going to do is walk you through the process like I walk my students through it, so that you have an option to use some of the tools and see what they can do for you. For world language, I think this tool is absolutely phenomenal. We're always wanting to hear our students and we want them to hear us. It's a lot about the conversation. And I've been thinking about how I can use this next year with my students. And I think what I might even do is put my voice in as part one of a conversation and have them insert their voice as a reply. And I mean, I feel like there's so much we can do with this. So I'll show you really quickly my screen. So here you can see, this is my screen. Right now I can see nobody has joined. So maybe if somebody can, so I can walk you through it, that would be great, because what I'll start to see is everyone's books popping up. So this is my teacher library page. And here you can see I have student books. This is my current rotation. But if I go back to my World Language Wednesday template, I would ideally, yes, no, okay, so if you are in there, what I want you to do, thanks, Roger, you can see my screen right here. Click on book options, like over my book where it says World Language Wednesday template, click on book options and copy book. When you click copy book, you'll have my template. And if you click new book, that's fine. You can add new book as well.
And
Okay, so here we go.
say that again, how to copy?
Yes, so to copy my book, so that's to get my instructions that I've provided, click on the book icon at the lower part of your screen and click copy book. So here I can see, here's Roger's book. And this is what I told the kids. I said, great. I said, I'm so happy that you followed my directions and you now have my template. Name your book. So retitle your book. You can click on where it says copy WL Wednesday template and you can create your own title. And the kids, some of them love this, right? They think of a favorite meme, or they, somebody called it a wacky French book. So I can see Sergio has new book and it's great. Look, Lisa has a book. So Lisa, she did this as well. This is awesome. Great. So what you can do at this point, and this is what I tell the kids. I'm actually going to copy my book so I can demo it for you. So my book is copying now. This is my template. I tell the kids, put your mouse over the book and click on the pencil to edit, because that's where we're going to start. We're going to edit your book. And I don't know which grade level you teach, but with 5th grade, I have to make it pretty cut and dry. And here I tell them that I have, when I click on the white space, I've included something called a panel. I particularly like this format because it's a comic format book. If you happened to create a new book, you could see you had an option to create comic books or books that were not comics. I like comics because I get options like panel and stickers and some fun text. Some of the kids don't like the panel. So I tell them, click on the blue, click on the white space so the blue square comes up, and all of your formatting options are going to be in your eye. So click on the eye and unlock, and then you can delete, or you can resize your panel. And I let the kids play around with this. And I say, you know what, when you click in your panel, click on that image that is like the icon of the image icon. Here, I can search something. And I say to them, search something that makes you think of France. And of course, most kids, Eiffel Tower. And so they search Eiffel Tower, they pick their image, and it automatically goes in my panel. After that, I say, you know what, delete all of those directions because I have them here. I'm gonna go through the directions with you. So I tell them, I say, you know what, let's go back to that eye, because when you go into the eye, you can choose all sorts of backgrounds for your cover. And I always say, be creative. This is your chance to show me how creative you are. So of course, any student is going to just, look at all of the choices. Wow, okay. So, I'm gonna pick my background. And when I do this the first time, like as I'm rolling it out, I say, okay, let's go through this a little faster. And usually I have the student share their screen because my kids are online, and it gives me a chance to get those online students involved in the whole classroom dynamic. So my online student is pretty much doing the demo that I'm doing for you right now. So here's my cover. Now they say, I want to add some text. So I say, okay, we'll go to the plus, and you see panels, there's speech bubbles, there's thought bubbles, and then we come to text. And I say, choose your text. My preference, I love title, and I like Boom because it formats it for you very nicely. So if I chose Boom and I say, give your book a title, and usually I'll do something like Le Livre, because then I'm telling them the word for book, which, in fifth grade, they don't know what Le Livre is. So here I'm putting Le Livre, and they say, what's that mean? And I say, it means book. And they say, oh, well, why would you call book? And we have that conversation because they're in fifth grade. So here's book. And then I go through the different options for them. They can add stickers. I have them go over to media. We spend quite a bit of time on media, and I do have them play around on their cover page simply to sort of get the feel of what media has to offer. Import has the images, it has our maps. So I like knowing that my kids can search for France. Many of them don't know where France is. They're fifth graders, and many of them have never been outside of Ohio. So when we talk about it, we talk about how France is across the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Ohio, and France is all the way over here off in Europe. But I can select that map, and I can add that map in there, which I like because it incorporates some of those geographic skills that they're focusing on in fifth grade. Let's go back to media and back to import. I can import anything from my drive. You saw in my template, I had the slides that linked back to my Alphabet Google Slides, and I used Google Drive here. Embed, this is how I put in YouTube videos using the embed tool. So all of these are through the import button. Camera allows me to take pictures or record a video. Unfortunately, because I am on the Zoom call right now and my computer is using the camera for Zoom, I cannot connect my camera for Book Creator. So what I tell the kids, log out of your Google Meet, take your picture, do your video, and come back. And that has worked pretty well. Pen, they like pen, and I like pen too. So my favorite, and this is what I show them. Okay, sorry, Lisa, I just saw your question. Yes, under the plus. So in pen, I want to go back there and show you really quickly. So when I click on pen, auto pen is very cool, and the kids like this. Auto pen allows you to draw something, and the program actually tries to guess what you're drawing. So I was talking about meals, and we were talking about our favorite food. So I was trying to draw a plate, a fork, and a spoon. So I'm drawing a fork. And it's really hard to draw with a regular mouse, and it's really hard to draw with a Chromebook mouse. So here I'm drawing a fork, And if you look at the top of my screen, you can see that Book Creator is guessing what I'm trying to draw. And look, here's a fork right here. So now it's a fork. So much better than my crazy drawing of a fork. But the kids love this too. If I don't want a black fork, I can click on my black circle, the color picker, and I can choose various colors. I like this blue sparkle because blue is my favorite. And so I now have a blue sparkly fork. If I want to fill in the fork with my blue sparkle, I can click on the paint bucket and I can click inside of my icon. And now I have a full-on blue sparkly fork to eat my favorite food with. And the kids love, love, love this. I mean, I can't even tell you what a hit this auto pen has been. Obviously, there are emojis. They like all the emojis. That would be something else. And if they don't like something, they can always erase it. I can get rid of my fork. Or I can come over here. It's going to give me the bottom part of the fork. I can click on my delete button on my keyboard. Going back to media, one other piece that's important for us as world language teachers is the record button. This is where I can record what I am saying and doing. So if I want to say, bonjour, bienvenue à la classe de français, I stop the recording. I can test it out here. Bonjour, bienvenue à la classe de français. Bonjour, okay, and I use it. And so now I have my icon here. They can click on it and they hear my voice. The last tool I'll mention is Shapes, and this is all icons. They can, it says search for anything. Smile, smiley faces, sun, it's all icons. And it's from the Noun Project, if you know of the Noun Project. So what I would like you to do, and this is what I tell my kids, is why don't you take some time and create something, create a cover. And if you're willing to share, I'm kind of sharing yours as we're going along here. I mean, this is so great. I love this. This is awesome. So this is really, you know, what I want you to take some time to do, maybe just a few minutes. And I'm here to answer questions. So, because I do want to make sure I close out my presentation as well. So I want to give us, like, let's say 5 minutes to play around with the tools. I will answer the questions that I've missed. So Sergio, I've never used Storyboard. I only used it temporarily. So I can't talk about Book Creator versus Storyboard. So how do I share a book for my students to use if I only want them to use mine? So Lisa, that is what I did here. I created the template and I had all of you click on the icon at the bottom that says, that has books. And then I selected copy book. And that was my way to share it with you. Now, let's say I didn't talk about this, but what if I wanted to, you know, add a slide? So maybe I create a new slide and I want to, or a new page, and I want to add this page to all of your books. So here I'll put something really quickly. I'll just put add this page. One thing that I don't like about Google Slides is that if I add something, I can't, and I've shared it to the kids already, I can't re-add in a very easy way. So here I click on pages, I can select my page that I want to send, and now I can send this page to all of you or just a few of you in my library. So for example, Lisa, I could find you and I could say, okay, Lisa, I'm gonna have you add this page. I click copy page and my add this page now is in your book, Lisa. So when I created my template, Roger, to share with students to import, what I did is I created a new book. And I did not use their templates. This is new, and this was not there at the beginning of the school year. I haven't even looked at this. But I did a blank book, and that's why I've been tweaking it along the way. I chose the landscape comic format. I liked landscape because it gave me the most room to work with. And I liked the comic format because I did get some additional, elements, design elements, like the panels, the text, and the stickers that the kids like. So I selected landscape and I just started creating my book with my directions and everything that I needed to do. When it was time to share that with the students, I just invited them to my library, just like I invited you to my library. I used the invite code and I shared this in Google Classroom. And then I had them come and copy that template book. Yes, I will get the image of the fork again, Valerie. So let me show you what I did. So here, I went to the plus, which is add an item, media, pen, and auto pen. And what I did, no, the kids can get they can access this via QR codes as well. I don't know because my kids have all signed in with Google, but I do know there are other ways that they can access Book Creator, Kathy. So using this auto pen, I can draw my image of a fork, which, is not going to be very good because I'm using a mouse. So there's my fork. Let's hope it can guess it again. Oh, there it is. It guessed it. Also guessed a cactus. I guess it looks like a cactus. Here's my fork. I can resize it. I can click my color picker. And this time, let's do a rainbow fork. And I will X out of this. I will fill it. And it becomes a fork. Are there any other questions as you're sort of playing around and seeing, how to use this tool? That's great. I do like the read to feature as well. You can see, if you actually, I know it reads it in French. I thought I saw Chinese, maybe I didn't, or Arabic. If it, I don't know. I know it reads in multiple languages, but test that read to feature. So when you come into your book, once you edit it, you can click the play button and you can have it read to you.
Ellie
That
Lieber.
one. I think I have to change the language for it. Here's my voice is English. So I would have to change my language here to have it read in French. Actually, let's look to see what languages. No, there is a way to have it read because I have it on my other libraries. I would have to look more. I wonder if it's in the library. Okay. Yes, you can download the book as a PDF. Great question. So here at the bottom, next to where you had your copybook, you can import a book. You can move it to a library, copybook, combine books. Then you have your share button where you can publish online. You can collaborate, download as an ebook, which is an EPUB file, or you can print it. Now, when you download it as an ebook, you have the choice actually as a PDF or the well, I guess it just downloads as an EPUB. That's my bad. I thought you could download it, Sergio, as a PDF. Let me think more about that. That's actually a good question because I thought you could. You know what, Sergio, I will reach back out to you. I see your email address there and I will get you an answer on that. Because that actually, I thought you could do that. Maybe. So I'm just jotting down your email address here. Are there any other questions as we are, where do you change the size and color? Yes, that is a great question and the kids always have that question as well. So let's say I want to put my name here. I'm going to add text. and I'm gonna pick title, and I'm gonna put Madame Radefeld. Okay, it ends up to be pretty big, and now I want to change it. I come to the I. The I always lets you format your item. So as long as your element is highlighted in blue, like it has this blue square around it, you can click the I and you can get to the font. Okay, and you can get to the color. And the size is here. And I can make it with a shadow. So all of my elements are here in that I. So providing my item is highlighted in blue, my I gives me different options. So here I'm looking at the shape. So my shape is actually the speech bubble. Here are the text settings in that speech bubble. I can make that bigger or smaller. I can change the font. And it's all from the I. Roger, bookmakers are able to share a link to those who do not have an account only after it's published. So I had my student who drew everything she wanted to share with her parent, and I had to publish the book for the parent to be able to see it. So that link, once I publish, makes it available to others who don't have an account. They just open it up and it's a web address. Does that answer your question?
It does. I'm sorry. Could you show us how do you publish, or where is the publishing?
Absolutely.
button? Thanks.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to publish this book. I'm done editing it. I can actually, once it's published, I can't stop publishing it, but it's all in the share right here, sharing options. I can publish online. I have my title, I'm the author, and then I just click publish book. Once it's published, I have a public share link, and I can copy this link and share it to anybody. So it's private until I start to share my link out. I can read this online. When I read it online, all I'm using is this public link, the share link. When if I don't want it published, maybe I want to go back to editing it, I can stop publishing. And now I can edit it again. Does that help, Roger?
It does. Sorry, just to follow up though, I'm assuming that you are the only one that is able to publish, because I don't have, when I go to that button, I don't have the option to publish.
So, so here are my library settings. This is my teacher library. So I can allow that Google image search. I can allow students to edit or not edit their own books. I can let kids read each other's books. I can enable collaboration, but this is my default setting. I don't let students publish their books online because I want to be in control of that, especially with my 5th and 6th graders. Now, if it was a different situation, I might let my kids publish, but that's something that I control as a teacher. Does that help?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then do those settings apply for every single book, or can you individualize them per book?
I believe they apply for every book because it's the settings on my specific library. Okay. So this whole library, yeah. Okay. And one thing I didn't show, here are all of my books, like all of the students in here, which are you all. And I can see how many. I can also add a co-teacher here. I can also, remove a user if somebody's doing something inappropriate. So I do have controls as a teacher. I want to respect everybody's time. I know I have about 6 minutes, so I do want to just come back to my slides briefly. If you need help, once you decide you're playing with this, you want to look at it a little bit more. If you click on this image in my slides, it will take you to step-by-step directions created by Book Creator. So I went on their website, and their website has a ton of resources. So I included their step-by-step slides to help you back at your classroom. Like maybe you decide you want to try this with a colleague, please share these slides and look at the Book Creator slides that I have. I did talk to my friends at Book Creator, and I have known the teacher success manager for a number of years. I saw him presenting at a conference. He was actually a teacher in Alliance. He was a teacher in Canton as well, and now he works for Book Creator. But he's a local guy. He lives near Canton, and he was able to offer everybody attending our presentation today a 3-month premium Book Creator license. So it takes you to basically the end of the school year. You can see if you like it. If you fill out the form, it will go off to the people at Book Creator and they will contact you, and they are so great to work with. I can't tell you how awesome has been this school year, knowing that I can use this tool, and they have just helped me so much. Anytime I have a question, they answer right away. It's been phenomenal. So please, take them up. I think it's so gracious of them. I emailed them yesterday. I was like, is there anything you can do for my presentation? And they said anybody that wants a free trial for the rest of the school year, we can do it. So that's in my slides. So the form, Lisa, is inside of my slides. Okay, good. And then again, this is my information. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions now. But I know it's just so much information, and I want to make sure that you can all get on with the rest of your evening. So I will stop sharing my screen and look at all of you. Okay. Any questions that I have not addressed?
Are there any out there who are high school teachers what's running through your mind right now as a high school teacher about how you might be able to use this with your kids? Does anybody want to share?
I mean, there's so much. I'm just thinking they could do a children's storybook. I mean, I'm just getting so many ideas. I can't even keep them straight, but this is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I teach high school, and I'm just literally right now about to put together, that's what I was doing, Tapas, something where I wanted them to put a dialogue together. And I thought, that's exactly what I'm looking for, like a really easy way for them to collaborate very easily and have a back and forth dialogue that I could hear. Or love your idea of putting in a question and then having an answer. Not that I need them, right now to be doing that for the AP, but it begins to become part of what the AP is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier than doing it in like ClassKick, which is a little more clunky.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't feel clunky. This feels a lot less clunky and is probably much more, they can put a lot more into it. Like they could create a lot more than in ClassKick.
I'm doing like right now I'm trying to do like I'm reading a book and I'm trying to create a graphic novel with my class. That's why I was looking at Bookmaker last weekend. And I just didn't know which one to do. So I'm having them, we're reading through the novel and I'm having them create the scenes, and then they have to do like character analysis. So I was thinking about Bookmaker. That was just coincidental. I'm like, wow, Bookmaker, you're going to go over it. And I love your ideas. They're wonderful. What I was thinking about doing was seeing if I could insert Voki inside, because I had them do like a character study, and the Voki, they have to say what the person looks like and then insert the Voki in there. Have you tried that?
You can I haven't done a Voki, but use the embed tool. I know Voki. I've used it. I mean, that's been one that's been around for so long. I used to use it when I taught high school French. Yes. So if you just get the embed code, you can embed it into the book.
Great. Yeah, because I saw something and I looked at so many different ones. I ended up just trying storyboard that right now, but I feel like this is better.
Yeah.
Can you do, also I want to ask you, can you do cartoon? Do they have like avatars that you can manipulate when you're doing like this? That was my one question about storyboard that.
No, it's more of a creative tool, like how my student used it. It's more of a creative tool that allows the kids to, draw if they want. Yeah, they don't have like all of those storyboard that type characters and backgrounds. You would have to find those online and they could import those. Like, I don't know if you noticed, I did the Among Us. One of the activities was Among Us, because that's like such a popular game right now. And I did color. So I went online and I found all of those images and I put them in.
Yeah, I think that's why I ended up just trying to do storyboard that, and then for the graphic novel, and then I was thinking about saving this for something else, but I love your ideas. They're amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And did you say that you can video yourself right in it, or was it just voice record?
No, you can video yourself right in it. It's amazing. So like, that's why I decided to eliminate Flipgrid, because it was just, Flipgrid was just another step that my fifth graders couldn't get to. And so now I actually give them the choice, because all I want to do is hear them, right? Like, that's my goal, is to hear them. Whether their face is there or not, I mean, I need to hear them. So now I say, you can video yourselves, or you can just record your voice. Some love the video themselves and some don't, which is fine with me.
Wonderful.
Can you put your own video in there as well? Not
Yeah,
just
you
voice?
can.
Like
Absolutely.
a Loom video? Can you do something? You could do some, I'm sure you could embed a Loom, but
Yeah, so what I've done, so my videos, what I do is I create my videos based on my instruction. If you look at my book, I'm in the slides, my example book, like the template that I've pushed out to all of my students. If you look at the alphabet one, I made my alphabet video, right? And I wanted the kids to hear all of my, like me saying the alphabet in French. So then I like to upload to YouTube, because then I know I can't lose it anywhere. So I just take that YouTube link and I put it into Book Creator. So it's my video, it's my voice, and then it's right in there. And you could do that with Loom or Screencastify, like whatever tool you're using to create your video, and then just put the link in embed. Use the embed option in media.
Well, you have lots and lots of thank yous coming in the chat box, and this was fantastic. I think what I really liked was how you said that you use it as a teacher, as sort of your own almost textbook that you made with your stuff, and the kids could make their own book to go with it. So just a great tool. Thank you so
Good.
much.
I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I've just been really happy with it this year.
I'm going to go ahead and stop.
You're welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here.